Well, it's not very often that I do a one topic kind of video for an episode, but I felt like, considering the circumstances of this one, it definitely seems like that's the best choice. And of course, the topic of today is an offshoot of the topic that is on everyone's mind right now, which is the another attempted assassination of Donald Trump. And I promise I won't go too much of the same information that everyone's been consuming, but I kind of had a different thought, and I saw something that was interesting from Nick Freitas, which I thought was interesting and I wanted to share because it contains a kernel of truth that needs to be explored. Let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome to the Ripple Effect. This is where we dive behind the headlines to find the impacts to your family and to your life, and how we can, in reverse, make an effect ourselves that then impacts the world around us. So first off, I kind of want to talk about the fact that there was a lot of misinformation that was being sent out right away. And this is extremely important for us to keep track of because misinformation always comes out after these types of things. What do I mean by this? Anytime there is political violence, there always seems to be a very concerted effort on the left to make it be that the actual problem and the actual people are Republicans and conservatives, that it's not actually the left that's doing this or that this person is not of the left. And very quickly, it was attempted by the left to make light of what actually happened and then to also try to pretend that this person was not a lefty. Very quickly, that was able to be disproven. The guy voted for Harris, donated to Harris, and was part of some very, very actioned committees and things like that that were very, very, very left-coded. Was on Blue Sky, which is another thing that's very, very, very left-coded. I don't know of a single conservative on any one of those things. Definitely not a Trump lover. One of the problems that kind of affected me about this one, and I was looking at it, is this is when empathy can be weaponized. Here is a man who really did try to, from the seemings of it, seemed to be someone who really did care about a lot of things. And because there's so much lying in the media, and specifically I'm talking about the left, the conservatives, I mean, we have some stretching of the truth that happens. I see it enough. I call it out enough to know. But in specifically the left side of things, it's very, 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 very deceitful, very, very dishonest. And what you have to understand is the impact of that is that these people really, truly believe the garbage that they hear from the left. And they really, really believe it. Like, this guy really, really believed it and felt like he was doing this to save children. Mind you, we have proven over and over and over that the left is the one that has been going after children to destroy them, to kill them in abortion, to destroy them through transgender forced surgeries and so on. Yet somehow, he thought it was actually the conservatives that were the problem, except he wasn't going to go after Kash Patel because apparently Kash Patel is diving into it and really trying to get to the bottom of the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. It's amazing to me that the logic of if there was something on Trump that the Democrats could pull out from the Epstein files, no matter how many times he's mentioned in those files, they like to do that a lot because, I mean, reminder that Trump wasn't a great guy for the long time. I'm not saying a pedophile, but he was not a great guy for a long time. And so around a lot of bad people that were involved in those kind of circles until he started pushing back and getting rid of them, like he got rid of Jeffrey Epstein. But we hear this constantly, that the conservatives are the problem. And even in the violence thing, did you know what's funny is Matt Walsh posted a thing talking about how it is never a question almost at this point when you see political violence that it's going to be from the left. And someone's like, wow, but did you read this? They were reacting to it like, did you read the statistics? Did you read the statistics? It's always the conservatives. It's always the conservatives. According to the statistics, like 75% is conservatives. And then the sad part is they're the same jerks who are reporting all of these things, all of these violences by the left as anything but that. I mean, do we not need to be reminded of the fact that they're the same people that are like, oh, loud noises happened and Trump was evacuated. Loud noises like, gunshots? That was ascertained rather quickly that it was gunshots? These are the same people who, when they go before prosecutors, they're supporting and helping these prosecutors make judgments that are taking these offenses and these violent political attacks against conservatives down to other things like mental illness and so on. Skewing the numbers. In fact, there was a hearing in Congress recently in which several people from the Daily Wire went to talk about this. And the main one that's really been talking about this is Michael Knowles. He's been hammering this on the head. Now, what do we need to do? Well, we need to take guns away from Democrats. I mean, if you want political violence to go away in America right now, statistically speaking, based off of what's been happening, and I'm not even talking about the fake statistics of the left, I'm talking about real statistics of real people that are doing violence. You take guns away from the Democrats, and you effectively don't have it. Now, where am I getting that from? Nick Freitas actually posted a thing, and I took a picture of it because I thought it was hysterical when he said it. But Nick Freitas said this, and I'm sure I'm not saying his name right, but he said, oh, where did it go? I lost it. Of course I lost it. Well, he posted a Twitter or tweet. What do they call them? X's now? What do you like? X. Saying if you want political violence to go away, then we should do exactly what the Democrats have been calling out for a long time and take the guns away. Oh, but from the left. Because had we done that, we wouldn't have the shots at Trump during Butler. We wouldn't have had this situation where the guy is definitely from the left. And we wouldn't have had even Charlie Kirk assassinated. Now, obviously, we can't do that. But if you Democrats are trying to set a trend here of removing guns away from people, maybe you should start with yourselves. Maybe you should start with donating up your guns, since apparently you guys cannot handle them. And this is the sad part is when you take God out of society, there is no recourse because there's no higher power in control. We believe that there is a high power that is in control. Now we do everything we can to pray and care and work in the things of politics here, because that is our job. But we understand that there is a higher power that has effect over the world, and we can rely upon him. Now, as a side note, I thought it was interesting with regards to this whole assassination attempt. There was a video, and I watched it, of J.D. Vance getting yanked out, and it was kind of a question of whether or not why they were prioritizing Vance getting out versus Trump, and the people that were saying that didn't understand the situation. There was guys immediately stepping in front of Trump from that angle, looking to see where the shooting is from, and they're trying to ascertain which way of out is best, because you don't know if it's going to be one person attacking or multiples. One of the things that really struck me as interesting in this whole thing is that we were wondering this as I'm watching this, and I didn't even know the manifesto was going to have this in it, is why is the security so easy to get through in a place like this where the president and major portions of leadership is there? I mean, there was Mike Johnson was there. I don't know how many other cabinet members were there, but I mean, the First Lady was there too. It amazes me that security. Now, what was really cool, and this is an effect of good votes going in the right direction to get people in that should be in, is that even though I disagree dramatically with a lot of the things that Hegseth believes, I mean, his pastor is nuts. That side of things is crazy. But at least the guy was protecting his wife. And even Stephen Miller, same thing, protecting his wife. Because instead of bringing in all the yahoos and the nutcases of the previous administrations, we're trying to at least bring in men. Quality people. Again, I have my disagreements with them, but it was cool to see. I mean, if it had been like the other way around, it had been, Kamala and Gavin Newsom out in the audience, he would have been like shoving his wife in front of him as a shield, I guarantee you. Not very impressive. I want to end on one note. And this is going to be a short video because there's a lot going on and you probably heard a million things from this. But it has gotten over the top with how many people are making fun of Erika Kirk for her reaction during this. And if you want, I'll rephrase this. You are not a real man if you can see what Erika Kirk is going through during this and attack her. If your heart doesn't desire to protect that widow whose husband we all looked up to, you're not a real man. You're not. You're just like Nick Fuentes down in your little basement who is saying he's voluntarily celibate. But you're not a real man. Because real men, as the Bible says, defend the fatherless and the widows. And any piece of crap that thinks that it is a good idea to continue to go after this poor lady, and I don't want to hear your stupid arguments that say, well, she's doing it. She's getting out there in the limelight. She's getting out there doing all these things, and I can't believe she's continued doing these things after her husband died. It's the only thing she has left of her husband is his legacy. And she's doing everything she can to make sure that that legacy does not get destroyed. And you want to talk about violence? It makes me want to do violence to people who have a hard time understanding that. Because they're so wicked and perverse. And I'm talking about demonic. You want to find someone who's demonic? Start looking at the people that are going after Candace is one of them, but after Erika Kirk. Candace being one of them. Demonic. That person wouldn't know what God looks like if he talked to her face. In fact, we all know what she would be shrieking as the demon that she is, if that was to happen. And all of you fish sticks out there that are listening to her are worse than the garbage that is moved around in a rubbish pile until it turns into dirt again. That's what you are. Because you're not intelligent enough. You're not smart enough. You're not wise enough. You're not in tune with God enough to understand when you're hearing a demon speak to you. And I know I don't usually go off on this kind of thing like this. I really carefully avoid Candace because I refuse to build my channel just on the hot negative topics. But seeing the reactions from people as Erika Kirk was taken away in tears during this, and the worst part is because she's still so traumatized by everything that has been happening, she didn't know that they were going after Trump and was afraid it was because she was there. You say, well, that seems self-conceited. No, it's because she's constantly getting death threats, constantly getting threats because of loser crap fests like all these morons listening to Candace. And for all of you bigger names out there, which who will never see this channel, but all those bigger names out there who refuse to call Candace out, you're terrible. And you're just helping a demon be more demonic. Congratulations. Now, I'd like, honestly, to hear what you think about this. Those are my opinions, and you can see how this kind of stuff can impact you. And how what we partake in, what we watch and view affects us and impacts our lives in so many different levels. How it can make us less than. What are you watching? What are you learning? Where are you going to for your knowledge and information? If it's not filtered through the Bible, you shouldn't be doing it. Like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us every time. Thank you so much for watching. We got one more subscriber. I'd love to see some more. Please share it as much as you can out there to get as many people. If you can give it a like, and then tell me what you think. If you disagree with me, let me know. We'll have a good conversation in the comments. As long as you keep it somewhat amicable, I'll converse. Thank you so much for watching.